Hola, Anthony Ambriz here, the husband and father of the Ambriz family. And if you're watching this vlog, you've probably seen our other videos about our financial situation, our get out of debt journey, our total money makeover journey. And so I'm just here to tell you that every Friday you're gonna get vlogs like this one that's talking about our financial situation, and we'll also be giving some advice and some tips once we learn and educate ourselves and put things into practice. So let's get to it. In today's vlog, we're going to go over our financial situation, what's been going on since we started doing the total money makeover, where the numbers are, how our lifestyle has changed, and what we've been doing, and just share with you what's going on. So first things first, the way things are going right now, by the end of the year, we would have brought in about $94,000 in gross income, because then we had to take out taxes. So we take out taxes, but here's the thing, I'm going to also remove what we're paying towards debt. And once we do that, because and I do this for a reason, because when you're paying off debt, you're not really doing much. You're not getting to use that money. You're using it for a good thing, which is to pay off your debt, because you want to be debt free. But you're not really utilizing that money for anything else. You're just giving that money that you owe to someone else because you use their money, you use their credit that they gave you, and now you have to pay back. And you pay a heavy expense, a heavy fee. And once I do that and I take away how much we paid towards debt, we're left with $40,000. So in a way, by the time this year ends, we would have made about $40,000. That's how much money we actually ended up using. It's crazy to think that you go from $94,000 down to $40,000. Now these are rough estimates, they're not exact numbers, but it still gives you a good idea of what's going on and where the money's going, in a way, right? We're working hard, we're getting paid, we're making money, but we're only getting to use 40,000 of it to live, to enjoy life, to do the things that we want to do, and you know, of course, get the things that we actually need. And so it sucks that taxes, that's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother issue. You just have to pay taxes. So pay taxes, right? But then paying debt, oh man, wish that wasn't the case. It'd be nice to have the $60,000, not the $40,000. But in the last few months since we started doing the total money makeover, we've learned to manage our money. And I've learned new ways to bring in money, to bring in new streams of income, streams of revenue. And that's what I'm all about recently. I like having multiple streams of income, because here's the reality. You can have a full-time job and get paid a salary, but there's no guarantee that you'll always have that full-time job. There's no guarantee that you'll always have that career. So one thing I'm a big advocate of is using the talents and skills you have and putting them to work on your off hours if you have a full-time job, right? And creating digital products, or freelancing, or getting a retainer and working for other companies as a contractor. Those things are awesome because they bring in extra money. And some of those things by now, in the last few months, they become very automated. They don't take up 20 hours of my week or 40 hours of my week. In sharing that, I'm going to share with you something else. Some of you know that I quit my job, my full-time job, about a year ago. And I quit it to start my own business and to see if I could make it. And so far I've done great. I've started a couple businesses, I've co-founded some, and I'm able to pay the bills. Able to make enough money that we need to pay the bills, but not enough to pay the debt as fast as we want, and not enough to save as fast as we want. And the thing that Dave Ramsey teaches is that you want to pay out debt as fast. You want a lightning speed. You want to save lightning speed. You got to be like a cheetah. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And so since a lot of my side projects or side gigs and contract work has become fairly automated, or it doesn't take me that long to do and complete, I've actually been interviewing at companies to get a full-time job. I've had some great interviews. At one company that I interviewed, I was the final candidate, but then they decided to get back their previous employer just to hit the ground running and move in that position, and that was fine, I understand. Recently, this week, I had another interview, and at the end of the interview, they offered me a contract position to move me into full-time, and I had to sort of decline that and say, you know, I might be fine with being a contractor and moving into full-time, but then you'd have to deal with my wife, who wants me to get a full-time job. Rebecca does want me to go back to working a 9-to-5 or 40-hour work week, and I understand why, and I agree with her, because now if I go work at a company, my expected salary from my experience and my knowledge that I know, minimum would be $80K. If they offer me the position, then my salary would be 80 or more, 80 being the minimum. And then whatever I make on the side roughly estimates to somewhere around 36 to 40 a year. Now what happens if this happens is that Rebecca and I, our combined total would be in the 100+ thousand a year. When I did the math, it was closer to 200,000, but it'd be bringing about that much. And what would happen is that we'd be able to pay off debt in a year. And just saying that and sort of thinking about it makes me super happy. It brings a huge smile on my face. It makes me a little teary-eyed too, to think that we could be out of debt in a year just by me going to get a full-time job, keeping my side gigs on the side, and then and having Rebecca still work. Now I know for some of you, maybe hearing these, like, you know, bringing in 90,000, 100,000, 200,000 might seem crazy, right? But I mean, Rebecca and I have been married for 8 years now, and for a majority of that time that we were married, I was in school for a lot of those years. And I'll leave that for another topic of conversation about my thoughts on higher education, the college degree, and all that stuff for another vlog. But I just wanted to share with you guys right now the situation that we're in. The situation that we're in is that things are going great. I'm not saying though that I don't stress out or get anxious when I look at our finances and say like, oh, are we gonna make it this week? I still do, and that's just because since I do contract work and freelance work, I have to sort of depend on those clients paying me on time. And it's not like working at a company where, you know, by law they have their system set up to pay you at a specific date and time and all that. I'm going to be getting a full-time job, and I'll be working that full-time 40 hours a week job, and I'll also be working my businesses that'll be bringing money. I'll be working contract jobs that'll bring money, and then I'll probably pick up other projects that'll be bringing in some more income. Last year when we evaluated our expenses, I noticed that we wouldn't have gotten out of debt until 5 years down the road, which is still good, but we're on baby number 3, and we need to pay off debt as soon as possible to save for our girls' education or whatever one they want to pursue, to be able to retire, to be able to buy a home, to be able to move internationally if we want to be able to build my businesses up a little bit more, to be able to do a lot more, to have freedom. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys, of what we're making, how we're doing, and that I'm going back on the job market. I'm a free agent in a way. And thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe and tune in tomorrow for a fun vlog, or tune in next Friday for more of this financial journey. Again, thanks. Adios.